Okay, so how this will work is, yeah, you're just gonna start recording when you guys present, and then I'll just be sitting here with like my camera off, microphone muted, and then at the end when you guys are done, I'll just have a few questions for you guys, and then you'll be all good to go. That
Okay.
sound good? Okay, so whenever you're ready, go ahead and get started.
Okay. Let me share my screen. Okay. You guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is group five, and our group name is Taiyaki, and this is a sprint one project design and plan presentation. Uh, And in terms of proposal or problem statement is as college students, we all often face challenges when it comes to full engagement with course materials, staying organized and retaining knowledge over time, whether it's in sustaining complex concepts, managing deadlines, or developing consistent study habits. Many learners struggle to find systems that support both comprehension and productivity. And the challenges that we want to focus on for this project is developing a system that helps students with understanding complex concepts, to develop a consistent study habit, and a system that allow them to support both comprehension and productivity. And the solutions that we propose is a flashcard study program that helps students learn terminology using a proven learning method called active recall. And this app that we built, students can create world decks based on course or topics, adding terminologies according to decks that are created, practice with them, and track their progress. In terms of the work distribution, we have two teams, front end and back end. Me and Eddie will be in front end, developing user interface with React.js, implemented front end with Tailwind, with Bootstrap, build components for login decks and flashcards, and integrated API calls and ensuring accessibility and usability. And the backend teams with Monish and Benjamin will be responsible for the Express.js server and routing, design and implementing the APIs, managing MongoDB database, keeper for user, decks and cards, handling authentication, authorization, and also implementing study quiz mode, logic, and data persistence. And in terms of tools and language frameworks that we're planning on using, for language, we'll be using HTML, CSS, JavaScript. For framework, we're planning on using the Merge Stack, MongoDB for database, Express and Node.js for backend, React.js for front end, libraries. We have Bootstrap and Tailwind CSS for UI and tools. We have GitHub for version control, Jira for task management, Verso and Render for backend front end deployment, and VS Code for integrated development tool.
As for our user stories, we split it into four main categories. So we have our login and sign up as a new and current user. You want to create a new account or log into a existing account and using the Taiyaki. And then for the next one would be the add, edit, delete cards. So deck owners, they want to be able to edit cards or add new ones or delete existing ones to say keep their flashcards updated to what they are currently studying for. Create, edit, and delete decks, similar to the cards. As a user, they want to make general decks for specific categories of things that they want to study for. That way they can organize and study for different subjects and topics. Then for the study session and quiz mode, users, they might want to use to study for themselves and self-grade based on what items they are proficient in and improficient in. And for the quiz mode, it helps them practice recalling terms that they have learned. Next slide, please. Sorry about that. Then on our story map, we split it into different categories along of what a user might go along so through the onboarding, authentication, to deck management and card management. Then at the end, using those flashcards to study and quiz themselves. So US1 is generally, this is going to be um, the length that we develop these different features in. So sign up and log in are our main priorities in the beginning, then creating the decks and cards with their different features like create, edit, and delete. Then at the end, we'll be implementing the study and quiz features.
So from our product backlog and mainly our first sprint, we are prioritizing foundational tasks such as setting up the account and flashcard database. Then we'll make core features like creating and deleting decks and flashcards to establish a basic functionality of the system. We anticipate that setting up the database will take up the most time, but once it's in place, developing the deck and flashcard features should progress more quickly. We also plan to include account creation and login during the first sprint if time permits. And our second sprint will then focus on more time-consuming things like creating more advanced deck features, like implementing a active recall mode and a quiz mode. Next slide, please. So with a total of 67 PBI points, our velocity works out to be about 34 points per sprint. For capacity, since each team member is working on planning to contribute about 7 hours per week, that adds up to about 21 hours per 3-week sprint. This gives us a total capacity of about 80 hours per sprint.
Yeah, so the risk for the risk management section, we're looking at anticipating future problems and how to prevent them. The first risk that we described was poor scalability and data loss. So that means inefficient code, um, code that doesn't scale right, or code that makes it harder to update or add exist new features. And so we said that as new software engineers, the probability of this was going to be pretty high, and the consequences of data loss is pretty catastrophic. So our strategy for preventing this is splitting data across multiple databases and keeping redundant copies of data in case there is data loss. The next risk is developmental delays, which could be a serious problem because we do have very specific deadlines. And our strategy was to complete assignments before the deadlines come up, and then keep constant contact with the team and update each other about progress. The next risk is user security breaches, which is a problem given that we're accessing things like user data sets, and also that we have a user login and password. While we do think that the probability of this happening is low, the effects would be pretty serious. So our strategy would be to alert users of new logins and avoid leaking secret keys within our own code. The last risk is the lack of accessibility. Um, and we said that it was a pretty serious problem as well, because it prevents users that are disabled or have special needs for interacting with our software. It prevents them from fully using the study tool to maximum efficiency. So our strategy would be to maintain active feedback forms, listen to customers and consumers, and include a customizable font and color options. Right, next slide. And then for our design texture architecture, this is a kind of overview of how we're gonna develop our app, and also uh, the overall structure for how our website interacts with its different components. It starts off with a MongoDB database, which holds the account and flashcard information. This database can be accessed by Express.js. And this Express.js is basically our API, defines the API routes that Node.js can use in order to create the web server, and it can also be interacted with by React, by those API routes in order to either perform user authentication and login, or to do things like dynamically visualize data sets, visualize the flashcards and and the decks in total for users to edit or add or destroy onto the main website that the users will use. And that's all right. Thank you for watching. That's it from us.
Hey, great job on your presentation, guys. I will say overall, I really appreciate the slide deck design. I did notice you guys are using the Mern stack. Let's go. And then the breakdown of like how you guys did your story map where you broke it down into the different user stories also looks super great. Your backlog also looks fantastic. So just a few questions. What do you guys plan on doing for your next steps? I'm gonna be asking that in every single Scrum presentation. So just a heads up, because that is technically one of the next thing. So like what like right after this call, like what do you plan on setting up or like what do you plan on starting with your project?
I guess we would probably make sure because we do have pretty set priority deadlines. So I guess just communicating what exactly do we need to work on? How are we going to distribute the work? And then like maybe create some soft deadlines of when do we want to get this done by? What's like a general timeline of how to move on and when we should be done with this before the next sprint.
Hey, sounds good, sounds good. Just curious then, have you guys set up your repo yet? Like no pressure on that, just because I saw that there were multiple features being developed at the same time in this first sprint. So I would just highly recommend like making sure you talk about it and communicate on setting everything up before you actually start developing. But yeah, have you guys started on that yet?
Yeah, we have a base like format for our app in our repo. It has like a server file and then like an app file just to handle like the different like back end and front end stuff and make sure that we keep it all separated.
Okay, perfect. Sounds good then. Yeah, I don't have anything else for you guys. You guys did fantastic. Okay, yeah, so just make sure that I think Wadon has the recording. So yeah, just make sure that you upload it to YouTube and then get that added on top of your like presentation slide submission. And you guys will be done.
Yeah, I will do it right now.
Great.
Good.
Thank
Okay,
you.
hope, no problem. Have a great rest of your day, guys.
Thank you, you too.
Thank you.